welcome to Unapologetically You, an authentic journey to healing. This is the podcast that dives deep into the raw, real, and transformative process of embracing your true self. Join Jenny and Ashley as they share stories, insights, and practical wisdom, plus more than a few laughs and tears from their own lives so you can heal, grow, and live unapologetically. Whether you're on your own healing journey or simply seeking inspiration, this space is all about you embracing authenticity without fear or shame. It's time to make a move from a relationship to a relationship. Now, here are your hosts, Jenny and Ashley, who are proud to take this worthy journey right alongside you and are truly happy you're here.
We are back in the studio today.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Sure has.
But we've been so busy. It's this time of year, and we're going to be getting into holiday times, which, by the way, is my favorite. 3 full months of Christmas. It's the happiest, joyous time of year. I've already been listening to Christmas music. Like, I need it in my life because I am the type, like the Christmas tree at night with the lights. There's just something about that, like, you're sitting in your living room and there's the glow from the tree. I don't know. I watch too many Hallmark movies.
No, but this is a magical time of year.
It is, and some type of feeling. I think as a child, you're always excited for this time of year that, like, it stays with you.
For me, soon as around like Thanksgiving hits, it becomes so magical. There is something about there's magic in the air.
There's something about it. Like, I'm always like, oh, let me meet my true love in the let me have my Hallmark moment, please. Please let me have that.
And I love a white Christmas.
Oh, me too. Like, I'm good with snow from now through New Year's Day. Mm-hmm. Then it could go away.
Yep, same.
But I am, like, give me all of the snow, the white, I don't need any more sun or nice weather.
No, it's beautiful, like when the snow's falling. And I like the ground to be covered in white because there's something, again, magical about that around, like, the Thanksgiving to Christmas.
Yes. And yeah, I'm excited.
So with the holidays coming up, though, I feel like there are a lot of people that feel a lot of sadness and fear, lonely, and grief if you lost somebody that you've loved.
Sometimes
the holidays can bring up a lot of emotion.
Well, emotion, and sometimes it's, Christmas time, people are struggling with money and finances. It brings a lot of, like you said, there's a lot of fear sometimes, and like, sometimes people dread this time of year, which is sad because they don't know what they're going to do.
Well, that is absolutely sad. And then I also think you miss the moments that, even just when the snow is covered on the ground, even stuff that, those little moments that can warm your heart and really make you feel joy. I think a lot of people miss that because they're so knee deep in grief or fear.
Or they're leaving a relationship, or they're leaving a job, or they, excuse me. But yeah, like, if you've just lost somebody, you get so wrapped up in the what happens now, what am I gonna do, that you miss the simple joys or blessings that are around you. You can't see through that.
And the people that you are grateful for, and the people that are in your life. I think we lose touch with that because, especially if we're feeling scarcity, there's something we want and we don't have. We're not looking around to think, okay, what can I be grateful for? The people I have, the things that I have.
Yeah, where I'm at right now. And I was thinking the root of fear.
Yeah, let's talk about this.
Yeah, so for me, I was like, I don't think it's the fear of the thing that's happening. It's not the fear of the loss of the relationship. It's not the fear of, a change of a job. It's not the fear of moving. It's not the fear of the thing. It's the fear of the what if. What if I don't like this new job? What if I can't be alone? What if I can't move past this person that I lost? It's always the consequence that we are afraid of, because usually we know when we need to get out of something. We know when it's time for us to release something.
Right.
We're just fearful of what does that look like.
Right.
We don't know.
We don't know.
It's the unknown.
And do you think too that fear also stems from the I'm not enough, right? So it comes back to the and not always, but a lot of times where fear comes back to you not feeling enough. Like,
It's your
I'm not going
insecurities.
to be able to do this.
Yeah.
What if I fail at this?
What if I'm not good at it?
What if I'm not good at it? I feel like being stuck in fear holds us back from soaring because, again, it's the unknown. What does that look like? So fear could feel safe to some people because it's keeping them small. It's keeping them safe in their mind. In their mind, it's keeping them safe.
It's supposed to be a trigger within our bodies and our minds that does keep you where you're at, right? That's why we have that emotion and that feeling, because it is supposed to be a known to your body of, nope, stay right where you're at. This is how you protect yourself. It's a protection mechanism that we're inherently given, right? So that's why that comes up when there is something that we're supposed to do. And again, for me, sometimes when I've made decisions, I have failed horribly at them. Right. There was bad consequences to decisions that I made that I associate now making decisions. I don't want to make them because I know the what if never turned out the way I wanted it to.
So fear of, am I making the right decision? Like trusting within yourself.
Yeah, because I don't. Because again, I feel now. I know the decisions I've made always end up working out.
Of course.
But I have made decisions where I'm like, ah, shit. Like that now, look it.
So also you bring up a good point that does fear also stem from past experiences,
yes.
afraid of history repeating itself. Yep. So here you are, 18 years old in your first relationship. You don't have that fear as much because this is your first relationship. Yep. Now time goes on, you've had breakups, you've had pain. So now you're associating pain with relationships. So now here you are in your fifth relationship, and now you're like fearful.
Yeah.
Is it going to end?
And I don't want to feel that pain again.
I don't want to feel that pain again. So is past experiences causing fear?
Well,
and how do we let go of that?
Now, being single for so fucking long, I do.
Pardon her language.
I don't want. There's then now the fear of getting back in a relationship because it's like the fear of I don't want to waste my time and now go back to doing this all over again. It's like Jesus, yeah. The history and the what you're experiencing, I think, is that root of.
So, number one, if it is something, I think when you're feeling fearful, you have to ask yourself, is this something that's rooted in my past? Yeah. Is this something I'm afraid of happening again?
Yeah.
And if the answer is yes, I think you really need to focus on letting go and knowing that every experience is a new experience within itself. Be honest, I mean, every moment is a new moment.
Right, but do you think that that's
patterns we carry?
Right, but that's why it's harder to let that go because that chance is so great that somehow it's.
Well, because I think you've attached to it so much because it's deep now embedded. Again, it's deep embedded within you. It became part of your story.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So it's changing the story. Anytime you're getting, we'll use a relationship. Anytime you're getting involved in a relationship, there's always a chance of breaking up. There always is, right? So it's a risk.
Yep.
However, changing the story is knowing you'll be okay if it breaks up.
Yeah.
Knowing that you've done this before.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying it would make it any easier, but it's going to allow you to be able to at least take that risk, take that chance. Some people, again, don't take those chances because they're so afraid.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that's with a new job, new relationship. When we
just
hold ourselves back
from
not taking those chances, I think we're really missing out on living, though.
Yeah, because we're accepting to just, this is all there is. This is what it is. This is what I'll accept to live in. And I think people get confused because I'm so gassy today. Like burping. I'm like,
did you go out last night? What's going on with you? You got a hat on?
I wish.
Or were you watching Netflix and swiping left? And eating your chips?
Oh, the good old days. No, I don't know what it is, but Lori, no, so let's try.
Another thing with fear.
Yeah.
Another thing with fear. People, Liv talked about this when she was on our show, the fear loop. People get caught in fear loops. Let you think. I think when somebody's fearful, they attach so much to it that they don't. It's hard to let it go.
Yeah, you get stuck in your thoughts and your feelings, and you cannot That's what I was going to say. It came back to me. Yeah.
Yay!
So then what we do is, we stay in it.
Okay, so we stay it. Sorry, go
We
ahead.
stay in it, and then we give ourselves this out. I have faith that it'll just change. I have faith that it'll just somehow, what I'm afraid to go after will present itself to me in a way that will just come to me without fear. And I think sometimes we can use having faith in something as a crutch to stay where we're at.
So you mean having the faith, which I do think you need faith.
Yes, but I think we misuse it.
But not doing the work.
Mhm.
So basically,
So
just saying, oh, well, you know what, I have faith, everything will work out, and not really.
God, just you make this okay for me in your time. I will rest in your timing. But sometimes I'm like, God's like, listen, you gotta help me out here.
I think God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah.
All the time to get over fear, you have to rely on something bigger than yourself.
Yeah.
You have to give way to what's bigger within, right?
Yeah.
Like your purpose. And if you're living purposefully, I think you live with a lot less fear, meaning like giving it up to God, higher power, really letting Him use you as a vessel. And I think when you're doing that and you're living your life like that, the right people, the right circumstances, the right situations will come. Not that the fear won't come up, but it'll be easier to take those steps.
Yeah, I think like you said, if you have, I'll stay where I'm at, have faith you'll make it better. More so, I'll make the move, and I have faith that you'll be with me along the way, and whatever happens, you're in control of.
Absolutely, and always listen to your body. I feel like our body gives us a lot of signals, and the fear signal is to get curious and to start to question, what is this fear here to teach me?
Yeah.
Because sometimes fear is healthy, because fear sometimes is there to tell us, run from a situation. There are
different types of fear. Yeah.
There are different types of fear, because there are times you have to give way to the fear, and you have to know within your body, this doesn't feel right to me. I really do need to get out of this situation.
Yeah, I agree. And that's the one we'll ignore. That's the one we
Have
ignore.
you ignored that?
All my life. Yeah, that's the one that we don't pay attention. We tell you to be quiet. That's the one we need to pay more attention to. The fear, I might not be good enough, or I can't do this, is the one that we need to push through.
And where you need to do the inner work. You need to get
yeah.
curious with yourself. Why am I feeling this way? Is this a past experience?
Yeah. Am I really fearful that I can't do it because I can't do it? Or am I fearful I can't do it because I have told myself the story that I can't? Or whatever.
Absolutely. And there's a book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. I've never read it.
Yeah.
But I've heard, I think it's like a bestseller. I've heard it's a
I'll have to
great
read that.
book. So fear. Feel everything and rise above.
Yeah. I feel like fear brings up so many other different like avenues, but we don't want to feel, right? I feel like sometimes our feelings that we have had, sometimes they're connected to negative, or again, there's some type of pain behind there that like we don't allow ourselves to feel.
Right.
To just feel it. We find ways to shut off those feelings, shut off those emotions. I think Liv was talking about that too. Need to connect with your emotions.
Absolutely. And then you get that fight or flight, the freeze response. And people, again, get so used to that response in their body, and their nervous system is so out of whack. They learn to just deal with it and live their lives like that. They don't know what like a real regulated nervous system feels like, to just be calm. And I feel like when you come from a state of calm and your nervous system is regulated, you'll know when it's a healthy fear, meaning when to walk away, versus a fear that, okay, time for me to do some inner work because this is definitely a me thing.
Transition to get out of it, it's very hard to trust your feelings and emotions because you're always used to being in that flight or fight. So to be calm, you're kind of like, I need to go back there. Like, I'm not used to just, because again, when the calm's existing, you're almost still thinking, what's going to come up? What's going to happen?
When there's calm, people that are so used to their nervous system being dysregulated are waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Oh, yeah. Always.
But then is that a self-fulfilling prophecy? So, again, waiting for the other shoe to drop is not going to serve you in any way.
No. You're questioning everything that you're going to do or say, because you're like, if I say, it's such a weird shit that goes on in your head. You could just be having a normal conversation, and yet your brain is in there constantly working. Be like, well, don't say this because they could react this way. Like, and don't. Oh, be careful. Oh, you just said this. They looked weird. Like the mind fuck that goes on.
But does that come back to just not feeling enough or being judged? Yeah. When the nervous system's dysregulated, we have all these thoughts of, is this person going to like me? Am I not enough? When we're coming from a calm place and a steady place, not that you don't have those thoughts, but I think it's easier to reel them in. It is easier to reel them in. The self-talk is a little more powerful when you're coming from a place of calm, where you're able to almost really look at something like in a neutral way. Yeah.
And it's so weird. I feel like everything comes back around to how you are centered, the story you're telling yourself, and all the different things. It's so difficult.
Change your story.
Oh my God.
You do.
Yeah.
Number one, you have to change your
story.
Start
there.
You have to change your relationship with fear. You have to understand fear is there to teach you. Don't run from it. Yeah. Don't be scared. Get curious with the fear.
Yeah. Inherently in animals, right? You sense fear, back away, right? Like you don't. Where now you have to like change your mindset. Be like, oh, fear.
But
what
humans
is that?
got away from listening to their instinct. Where an animal will listen to their instincts, humans live in their heads and got away from listening to their instincts. So for them, they're not really feeling it in their body. It's more thought-based.
Yeah.
In the past, that brings up depression. When you live in the future, that brings up anxiety. And most people go between the past and the future. So they're either in their past or they're in their future.
We need to be in there.
We need to be in the present.
Oh, yeah, that's
like
it,
you said, like
I was like, what's the word for that? Well, obviously, I'm not doing it.
You can learn a lot from animals and kids. Because kids are the same way. They let it go. They're not living in the past. They're not thinking of yesterday and what happened to them yesterday. They do as they start to get older. But when they're little, they forget. They forget 5 minutes before.
I was watching something. They said, think about a child that's learning to walk. They will get up and fall down over and over and over and over and over until they get there's not a fear of shit, I fell down yesterday, I'm not trying that again. But if we were an adult and we were trying and we kept falling, we'd be like, hell no.
Right.
I know what happened last time I did that, and I'm not trying that again.
But that child learns to walk.
Yeah, because somewhere along the line we were taught, I think, to fear to do things. Baby does it, we're not, you know what I mean? Like at first, a baby just does
because
things.
they're in their bodies and not their heads.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
And then we fuck people up.
Let's say 2 kids are hanging from a tree.
Yeah.
One kid, the parent says, get out of that tree, you're going to fall.
Mm-hmm.
And the other parent says, hang on, you'll be okay. Guess which one's falling?
The one that the parent said you're going to fall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's all in the language. It's all in what you tell yourself.
Mom and Dad, you told me not to do a lot of shit, and now look at me.
So
look what you've done, you little jerk.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Somebody had written in, and they want to know what a long time ago you had said about having a list with a guy that you want to be with. They want to know what's on your list.
Well, I can't put that out there.
I know that's so random.
I can't say what's on my list because then I say it and then everybody listens and it gets out there. I will tell you this. I will tell you this. There are specific things that I absolutely need from somebody. Like, one of the big things, they have to have a strong faith and a belief in God.
Absolutely.
That you don't have that, and not that I'm judging. I know some people, but for me, that is what I need. Mm-hmm. And I need emotional intelligence. That is something which means that they're very. It's easy to pick up on to what my feelings and emotions are, right? Like they're connected to that.
Absolutely.
I need to
actually have a conversation with.
Yeah, like there's again, I think that right because I'm very sensitive, but I do want a sensitive man. I need somebody that has compassion and empathy.
That makes
for
sense.
Because I don't believe in the person that can shut their feelings off altogether or doesn't have emotions to understand what I'm feeling.
I could.
And I need, there are a couple other things. I am somebody that, like, I want to have intelligent conversations. I want to be in my home with, my Christmas tree lights on and a bottle of wine, and I want to talk about things. I want to talk about life. I want to be able to, and I have dated and went out with a lot of people that their minds can't even go there. They don't read, right? They don't, they're not intellectually intelligent.
Yeah,
not that I'm saying that they're stupid, but they don't want to take the time to, have those conversations or read different books, like the self-development books,
Right.
to have those conversations. So, and you gotta like 80s music. I prefer Enya and Yanni. I love a little Kenny G sometimes, and long walks on the beach. And no, my list is intricate, but there are certain things that I am paying attention to when I am starting to talk to somebody that I know that I'm not willing to not that they have to have every single thing, but I'm not willing to not have those.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Right.
It's important somebody that is into personal growth and that is into
Yeah.
being supportive to help you soar, not hold you back, not keep you small. Again, talking about fear, if you're with somebody who is a fearful person and
They
doesn't
won't.
really take chances in their life for growth and, to really embrace the challenges in their life, that would be hard too, because how are you going to really soar if you're with somebody that really keeps himself small?
That they have that fear mindset of like, I can't, like, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. Or like, yeah, I don't know. Can you, like, this and this could happen. That's not helping you to explore what, the possibilities of something. Or almost like, if you're already kind of doubting, it'll just confirm and you're like, hey,
I think of a godly relationship, two people being brought together to also create. Now, it could be to create just to inspire others that there are loving relationships out there. Or it could be two people that are brought together to create to really help a lot of people.
Yep.
So it would look different for everybody, but I do feel a godly relationship, two people brought together, is for a purpose.
Great.
Is
I'm never
purposeful.
gonna have a man. I have Jenny. This is figured it out.
I mean, he can bring that to you too. You got me, but he
I
can
got
bring it
you,
too.
That's it. That's like I gave you what you wanted. It's just in your friend, and
benefits to support each other. You and I have talked about, our plans and things we'd like to do for the future. Now, if I'm with somebody, I would want that person to be supportive. Not that they have to agree with everything,
right?
But to really have my back and to be supportive and to help me on the journey of, growth and being my best self, just as I would help them to be their best self. It's important.
Well, in the respect between that's a
godly to me though. That is a higher thrive kind of relationship when you're with somebody where you can both thrive at your highest and you help each other in that way. You're going to have challenges, you're going to have arguments, but at the end of the day, like, you both have each other's back. You're both there to really help each other be their best self.
Yeah, and you
That's
can
what it's
have
about.
the honest conversations and talk about the things that those difficult situations that come up during that. And there's like I said, if there's an emotional and intellectual intelligence with somebody, there's an understanding of what you're saying without taking things personally.
Absolutely.
And that's where I think a lot of times we take things so personally when we're in those disagreements or those misunderstandings that we can't have a full conversation.
When really that's an opportunity to learn more about that person and in turn learn more about yourself as well.
Yep.
You have to almost be open-minded and open-hearted as well when you are with somebody. To be closed off and closed-minded or to have just one way of thinking just isn't healthy at all.
We've talked about the
not a
mirror
healthy
thing, like somebody that mirrors things back to you. And I do truly believe someone that I am supposed to be with will mirror things to me. Like, I'll see things in them that I know I need to work on for me. They'll help me to see the things. So I don't always think like I have my list, but I don't want somebody to be exactly like me, because I want them to challenge me in the ways where I am less, that I do need to improve on. Like, I want them to help me to, and same for them, right? So I think sometimes finding that opposite is really important, because you help each other to, somebody that's, I want somebody that's really, really confident, right? Because I lack that. So I need somebody to not let me fall into that mindset.
Right, it makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
I feel like I'm a very empathetic person, and I feel more deeply for people than others might. So, for me,
To really bring that to them.
Right.
Higher thrive and higher power relationships, it is like that, where you both come together and you help each other grow and heal.
Yep.
So they're not going to be, they might be similar.
Yep.
But what you have different is really going to help the other one heal, grow.
I keep reading where it says, you meet somebody sometimes not when you're completely healed, but in that healing season, because they're supposed to meet you at that time to help you through it. And I think a lot of times people, and I even know I've said it, I'm not meeting anyone until I'm completely healed, which we know never really happens.
Right.
Yeah.
We're all
like
broken.
I can't be like a mess when I meet somebody. Well, maybe somebody likes my mess. So,
because there's a lot we can't do on our own. Being single has its benefits, but then being in a relationship just pushes you and challenges you in ways that being single never will.
Yeah, we were not designed to go through this life alone. So I feel like I hear people say, just stay single, be alone, it's not worth it. And it's like, I don't.
But again, I think they're speaking from past experiences. I mean, if you were to probably dig in their life, I have to believe they're truly just speaking from their past experiences. Maybe they've been really hurt, still dealing with a lot of that. So they're in a place at that point that's like, I don't want to bring anyone in. And there's seasons for that as well. So I think it's a season that everybody's in a different season.
If God can shorten my season, I'd be...
I
would have been in the season for a while now.
All right, so to wrap this up, fear. What are some good things people could do with the holidays coming up? Thanksgiving's coming up, to really help them with fear and sadness and the heaviness during this holiday season.
I think that you said it best when we first started, is you have to move your focus from whatever is going on, whatever you're fearful of, whatever you're struggling with, whatever you're sad about, whatever those negative emotions are surrounding. Not that they're not warranted, not that you shouldn't have them, but you have to take a moment, even if it's just a moment every day, to equally sit there and say, okay, amidst all of this over here, I am thankful, and I do have at least this. And somewhere in this world, somebody doesn't even have this.
So be grateful. So number one, be grateful.
Yeah, be grateful.
Two, I think get curious with the fear.
Yeah, I think you have to pray. I think
Absolutely.
you have to find to whatever it is, or whatever, we've said this from day one, whatever your source is, your higher source, it's God, universe, whatever, you need to trust and have faith in that. But like you said, you also have to start doing the work.
God helps those who help themselves.
Yeah.
Have the faith, but ask yourself, what inspired action can I take? You can't just expect God or a higher power to answer your prayers if you're just sitting on your couch and not doing anything to make things happen.
Yep.
There's a time to let go, and then there's a time to move forward.
The other thing you said is live in the present moment. Get out of the anxiety of something, get out of the fear of something, and do something in the present to distract your mind from that. Do something that is fun, that brings you joy. Something that brings you joy, so that you are out of the thought process of whatever is worrying you or you're upset about, whatever that is. I think if you start introducing different things to you that bring, or things that you already are doing that bring you joy, do more of it.
Absolutely. Be grateful. Pray. Give way to a higher power. So surrender. Find joy, like Ashley said. Every day, write down things to be joyful about.
What if you have not read, what's it called, The Miracle Morning? I saw him speak, and now I'm
That is an amazing book,
Yes.
Savers.
Yeah, I did see him, and I feel
How
terrible
amazing
because
you got to
now,
see him.
yeah, Elrod, Hal Elrod is his name.
I'd have
look
to
that up
look.
real quick.
Okay.
So this guy, he almost died, in a really bad car accident, and he also had cancer. And so these are very fearful things, right? There was a fear in the car accident that he was never going to be able to walk again. And he, with the cancer, that obviously that you're going to die. So there's some major fear there.
Hal Elrod.
Hal
Is that how you
Elrod.
say it?
Yeah. Where am I looking?
Right here.
Yeah, Hal Elrod. If you have not read
That's
Miracle
amazing.
Morning,
You got to see him.
yeah, and his stories, like he talks about the you have 5 minutes, right? You have to have your, like, when something bad happens, I can't change it. Meaning, yeah, there's steps you can take in the future, but you can't change the past. You can't change what just happened. Feel your emotions. So you get 5 minutes to feel whatever it is that you want to feel, and then you have to say, I can't change it. I gotta be positive. That's what he told himself coming out of this accident. If he couldn't walk, and doctors actually thought he was having like a psychological breakdown because he was happy. And they're like, that's not normal. And so he
Sometimes a breakdown could be a breakthrough.
yeah. So also then, like, with the cancer thing. So anyways, he wrote this book, The Miracle Morning. Talk about the Savers though.
So I've been doing Savers probably for about, my gosh, 5-6 years. Gail Root, she had introduced me to them. She's a life coach.
Okay.
And I've never really read the book, but she explained enough to me
Yes.
about the book that I was able to do the Savers.
Yep.
So the Savers are 7 minutes each. And silence, affirmations, visualization. So visualize what you want for your life. Exercise, read, and script. So read something inspirational, and then script
Is writing.
Is
Yeah.
writing.
Affirmations. What I am feeling sucks. What I am going through is awful, and there is a chance that I'm not good, but I am going to live today doing that. Like he had these affirmations, was how am I getting through, like I am getting through this day, and I'm going to be grateful for what I have. And his affirmations came out of pain and came out of fear, and they weren't just your basic whatever. So like I've started telling myself on those days that are hard, like I know this day is not easy, and I know, like, you're being real about what is actually
I was just
going
gonna say, you're
on.
being realistic
You have
with
to be
yourself,
a
and you
realistic.
have to be a realist. You
Yes.
can't live in a fantasy world
Yeah.
with rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
That's not going to get
yeah.
you too far
I
either.
can't wake up. I am going to have a good day. I know this day is going to be hard, but I will do everything that I can to find some joy in this day and get through it. That's a real affirmation. That is a promise
Absolutely.
to yourself of what you're going to do.
And if you are stating an affirmation, and again, you're not believing it, it's not going to do you any good.
So make it real.
You need to state affirmations that feel real to you, that are real to you, and you're actually feeling in your body. Again, it goes back to feeling, because if you're just saying it in your head and you're not really believing it, embodying it, and feeling it, it's not really going to do you much good.
Right. So if I think changing your affirmations, especially with fear of, I know this could be a challenge, and I know these things are possible, but I am going to make the effort to make the steps to get through it. That is a real affirmation that I know that I'm going to do.
And realistic.
Yes. Yep.
So Miracle Morning.
Yep.
Get the
Check it
book.
out.
Check it out. And
He has videos and things you can look up, and he talks about that. So check him out.
so, fear. Feel everything and rise. False evidence appearing real.
If you have a story you'd like to share, or if there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover on the podcast, we'd love to hear your ideas.
Get in touch with us through email or our social media pages, links below.